Brought to you by Mr. Pros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Mr. Pros TV, and today we're in Tempe, Arizona in our studio with Leslie and Alex Smith at North & Co. Did I get that right,
You
guys?
got it.
I think
Yeah,
you got
man.
it.
Awesome. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day as real estate agents to come on Real Estate Pros this morning with me.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate that.
having us.
So for those watching that don't know who you guys are, we'll give you a couple minutes to introduce yourselves, kind of a little bit about your background, and then what interested you in getting into real estate. Because I find it real interesting. Everybody has a different reason and a why to do, and maybe also why you guys, because you guys are spouses that sell houses.
That's right.
And that's the slogan, and working together as spouse. So anyways, just give us a little bit of background, and I guess we'll start with you, Alex.
Right on. I got into real estate about 4 years ago. I traveled on the road a lot in heavy civil construction. We were on the way to having our third kid,
Oh, wow.
and it was like, okay, time to get home. And was just looking for an outlet to do something different. My mom was in real estate. My mother-in-law was in real estate. And I was like, well, I can probably do it. So
Yeah.
just jumped in with both feet and went and got my license and went straight for the hustle. So
And you survived that first year.
it's tough, man.
So when you jumped
Tough.
in, was it both of you guys
No,
at the beginning?
no.
It was just you by
It's
yourself?
just me, yeah. So until very recently when Lesleigh came on with me. So yeah, it was just me, and I had a former partner, and that recently dissolved. So yeah, it's been an interesting 4 years, and tough at the beginning. But
Absolutely.
hustle through it. And
I always
strong survive, right?
appreciate the agents that can get to that first
Yeah.
year, because
Exactly.
a lot of times
It's tough.
it's tough,
After you're starting
not-
your own
not
business.
It's not as easy as you think it's going to be.
No.
You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm going to get out
And
there.
it's
If they
a lot
can
of
do it,
work.
I can do it. And then about month 3, you're like, dude, this is hard.
Like, all right,
When am I going to make money?
And
This-
month
this top
6,
ramen's getting old.
Exactly, dude. Top ramen and oatmeal.
Hey, that's what I
Oh,
eat every morning.
Right?
Right.
And I'm just
Seriously.
kidding.
Top ramen?
No, I eat
Oatmeal.
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 So we'll let you give us a little bit of background on yourself, Leslie.
So I just joined the team, a spouse team with Alex, really recently. My background is in insurance. I did it for 11 years. Worked from home for a wonderful company, but insurance is a little boring. It's not a lot of excitement to it. So Alex started getting busier and busier, and he said, why don't you just join me? Let's do this together. Let's tackle it together as a team, and we work really great as a team. So far it's been great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And
Yeah.
we know that there are a lot of options out there when it comes to brokerages.
Yeah.
So you guys are at North & Co. Why did you guys decide to go with North & Co.?
So originally joined Brian's team at North & Co.
Oh, okay.
when it was Green Street, and
Yeah.
it was just the North & Co. team. So I joined his team almost 3 years ago, and then just the energy, the vibe there is awesome. The people are super collaborative.
It's a community.
It's truly a community. It's a great feel. They've really got our area anchored down too. So
Yeah, it's a very known brand. If you drive through that area, you see North & Co. signs
Totally.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
absolutely, for sure.
right in the hood, man. So
Very
we love it.
established in the hood.
You got it.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your start in real estate. So you started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's probably your activities and what you do
Oh, dude.
to drive business change.
Yeah.
So did you start off on Brian's team? Is that where you got your
No.
start, or were you an agent by yourself?
I
and
was
then
an
you're
agent by myself at a small brokerage in North Scottsdale, and there wasn't a lot of inventory to sit open. So you'd sit stuff open, but it was like few and far between, and not in areas that I really were my target market. So it was really difficult, and I was kind of spinning my wheels. And then I moved to Berkshire Hathaway down at 32nd Camelback, closer to where we wanted to be.
Sure, yeah.
Robert Jaffe was gracious enough to let us sit his listings just about every day, so we had a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
And so that's where I started a lot of open houses, probably 6 days a week.
Oh, wow.
Every day out hustling, man, just to try and
Door knocking.
Which it's actually
door knocking before open houses, open houses,
wow.
follow up after. I mean,
Yeah.
you're grinding. Yeah, it was but I was used to working those hours when I was working on the road, so it wasn't a huge deal for me. I was home every night. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So, but no paycheck at the end of the week was a different game, right?
Yeah, it is a little bit different, but it is practical these days to do open houses that frequently.
Right.
Because now we have hot spots and stuff. You can
For sure.
actually get work done, and it's better sitting open somewhere.
Absolutely.
And I've met
It's our office.
several agents that are newer that just go hard on the open houses, and they build.
You can, as long as you have a good CRM, you can build a killer book of business out of just strictly open houses.
Well, and you create a rapport with the person. You know, they're coming to you because they're coming into the open house. So
Right.
it creates a comfortable environment to start that conversation and, you know, ask those questions of, you know, what brought you in today and, you know, what are your future plans for, you know, wanting to move or what are you looking for? So it really helps. So then when you call them, it's not a cold call. They talk to you.
Exactly.
You know, and really it was on their terms.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That helps a lot.
And so do you? So when it comes to open houses, you know, I know that a lot of agents will do just. You know, they'll just sit there. They won't do a whole lot pre, and then they're surprised that nobody shows up to the
Right,
open house.
right.
So I
That
guess
can
share with us a
happen.
couple maybe tips, tricks for agents that are watching that, you know, maybe want to get more involved in open houses. You know, what you found success in, you know, what activities help to drive better results at an open house.
Lots of social media.
Yeah.
Social media posting. Get enough signs. Make sure you have 12 signs at least. Stick a couple on each corner. And then, you know, just be active with, shoot it out to your CRM. People that are local around the area of your open house, let them know you're active, right? Just be there every day. If you have a vacant listing, go sit it. Like, there's no reason not to be there.
Sure.
You can work out of there. It's way better than being at the office or at your house. You have the chance of a buyer coming through.
Yeah, and you're
that you
getting
can
more
convert.
face-to-face.
Absolutely.
And you also mentioned door knocking as part of your. Was that part of your strategy around the open houses?
It was part of the strategy around open houses, plus trying to get listings, finding buyers. I work with a lot of investors now, and there's just no inventory that's on MLS, so you got to go find it. So that's been a tactic that we've utilized a lot.
So that's probably a good tactic. And also, there's probably agents watching that are kind of nervous about doing door knocking, and I think. You know, what does that sound like to the homeowners? You know, what does that conversation look like so it's not like awkward? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. And
Right.
I want to sell your house.
It depends on what your end game is, right?
Yeah.
If you've got an investor looking to buy their house, simply, hey, I have somebody who's looking in the area to do a project. Are you looking to sell your house? And if so, you know, we'd like to help you get to that finish line.
Sure.
If you're just looking for listings, and you have some buyers looking in the area, hey, I have buyers looking in the area. They've specifically said this is where they want to live and there's no inventory. Would you be willing to sell your house? And if you were, at what price?
Sure.
And it just opens the conversation. And from there, really, it's like going to make a call that it's the 50-pound phone, right? Picking that phone up. That first door you knock is tough. The second one, not as tough. The third one, by the time you get to 15, it's like just rolling with conversation.
Gotcha.
And then once you get out there a couple times and do it, that first one isn't even tough. It becomes fun. It's like a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to get out there and get over that
That's
hurdle
it,
of
man.
the fear of, oh my gosh, are they going to
We create fear in our
Yeah,
mind. That's
what
it.
could be the
man.
worst that could
Yeah,
happen,
they say,
right?
no, I'm not. I don't want to sell my
It's
house.
like-
Exactly. Okay,
On to the
bye.
next one.
Exactly.
It's not
Yeah.
that.
That's it.
Not
It's
that
nothing
bad.
personal, right?
So that was a big strategy when you started your business
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Has that stayed the same when you're fast forward now to 2018? How has it
No.
looked? Obviously, you brought Lesleigh on
Yeah.
Right.
to Smith at North & Co. So how does that look like
It's a
in 2018?
mix. It's a mix, man. Open houses, get a lot of referrals. We have our repeat investors that are looking for projects constantly.
All the time,
Plus, we're heavier on the listing side than we were in the beginning. So you've got to service those listings as
Sure.
well.
Right.
So it's a mixed bag.
Right. And Leslie, what is your role? I guess you said
Yeah.
you said very new, but has he assigned like?
Oh,
certain
absolutely.
things
Well,
that
I
you do?
kind of just jumped right in. A lot of Alex's weaknesses are my strength. And,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
maybe vice versa as well. So I kind of keep Alex on schedule a little
Yeah.
bit.
I have ADD. Squirrel. So she keeps me on
so
track. Hey, remember,
I'm
you got to do
keeping
that.
track and doing a lot of the follow-up and making sure those emails get out and that we're really just staying on track with our business.
Absolutely, because your background in insurance really a lot of
pays off,
a
for
lot of
sure.
the skills that you learned in that business can
Right.
translate definitely into the
Absolutely.
relationship business of
For sure.
Of real estate.
of real
Absolutely.
estate.
It's very
Yes.
similar.
It's very similar and very task oriented, and customer service oriented.
Sure.
So that follow up is really what customer service is, and you have to provide your clients with a service that proves your value.
Right. So you mentioned you do work with you represent a lot of investors.
Yeah.
And we know there's a lot of people that are buying houses out there for investors. Why do investors ultimately say, Alex, Leslie, can you help me find these houses versus somebody else? What
Right.
value do you guys bring to the transactions with your investors?
Well, I mean, really just bring them properties that other people aren't bringing them.
Sure.
Right? Bringing them stuff or people are overlooking things on MLS that
Right.
you look at and you go,
They
there's
don't
some
see the
decent
value in
comps
it.
here. If we could get it at this, so let's shoot for this. People are afraid to go out and write lowball offers. Well, if the house is overpriced, why wouldn't you write a perceived lowball offer? 'Cause
Sure.
it's not really a lowball. People just need to get realistic.
You're right.
So,
Right.
having that and then knowledge of area and comps and things like that.
I think your construction background has helped.
Construction
background
as
absolutely.
well,
helped for sure.
Yeah, and helping with timeline, the cost to build, and being able to put all that together and understand it. So being able to speak with the investor on the same level as them, I feel like has probably helped
For
you
sure.
quite a
Sure.
bit as well.
Absolutely.
So do you guys focus on a specific area, or are you guys pretty much like Phoenix wide all over the place?
I mean, for the most part, we concentrate on the hood. I think our investors have 5 projects within like a mile radius of each other right now. So
Oh wow.
Which is very helpful.
It's pretty
Yeah,
tight.
yeah.
It's pretty tight. But we've got a listing in South Scottsdale. Just closed one in North Phoenix. We've got a buyer under contract in Gilbert. So it's pretty
It's
wide net.
kind of a mix.
Especially when it's referrals. I mean, you kind of go wherever they are.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So for new agents getting into the business, what advice would you give them to be able to make it past that 6 months to a year, and make it long term and find success in real estate?
My biggest weakness in the beginning, and still probably is having a CRM that's properly set up. That's the first thing you should do. Take a week, however long it takes, get a CRM, dump all your contacts in it, and get them set up correctly.
Yeah.
Any good title company that has a good tech person will help you through that process. And then from there, sit open houses. Everybody that you get through that open house, dump them into the CRM, classify them, and then make sure that you're pumping your open houses out to them. You get a listing, you pump that out to them so they know you're busy and active. From there, just follow up. I mean, it's really, if the stronger your follow-up is, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah. And I think it's important that your sphere, your friends, your family, the person that you run into at the grocery store, everyone should know you're a real estate agent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
everyone
absolutely.
should know what you do and that you're looking for business always, right?
Right.
Like, I'm not too busy to help you. I'm not too busy to help your neighbor. Or if you're wanting to get into a neighborhood, talk to me. I'm the person to come to. So it's important to talk about it and make people feel comfortable that you are, there to help them.
Sure.
So I think that's a big part of it too, and getting over that
Absolutely.
hump. Once everybody knows, then eventually you get past that 6 months, like you were saying. How do you get past that 6 months? It's amazing what 6 months to a year and a half to 2 years,
Right.
how far you can, grow your business. Sit down with Brian North, he'll tell you. I mean, it's unbelievable. You just have to stick with it and believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
You don't know anything in the first 6 months. You're just trying to learn what this real estate game's all about, right?
Right.
You get 6 months in and you're like, oh, okay, I feel like I've got some traction. And then a year in, you're like, oh man, I didn't know anything. I literally didn't know
You
anything.
look back, you're like, how did I do that?
How did I do that? How did people trust me? Like, it's totally crazy how after 6 months you look at it, and then after a year, and then even year 1 to year 2, you just get so much more experience.
Yeah.
And if you go out there and work and put the time in, it happens so much faster.
Absolutely.
Right. And, you know, when you talked about getting into real estate, you started off as a solo agent.
Yeah.
And then you went to a team.
Yeah.
So that's a viable option for a lot of new people. I've heard that been recommended several times, you know, if, you know, to get the support and figure out what people are doing on a team. And then a lot of people will branch off eventually on their own, kind of like how you have done. So is that something that you would recommend from a new agent?
For sure.
And also, what did you learn being on Brian's team?
So tons of collaboration on Brian's team. Lots of access to listings and open houses that we wouldn't have otherwise.
And knowledge.
Help on listing appointments. But I would, without a doubt, recommend anybody who's new to the industry, go to a team, an experienced team that has listings, that has buyers, that buyer leads that you can utilize. So what if you're paying 50% back or 70% back?
Yeah.
Like
It's a learning
30%
process.
of something is better than 100% of nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
You might
right.
work a ton, but at least you're building up your base of business and you're making some money. In the first 3 months, you don't know anything. Nobody's teaching you anything. You're solo. You're out there
Treading water.
grinding,
Yeah.
literally treading water in something you don't know anything about. Go to a team where they can help you get to your goals as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And your brokerage, too. I think that's a huge part of it.
Huge part.
You want to be with a brokerage that is community oriented and everyone's there to help, you know, and share their ideas and experiences with you, and, you know, help each other out. I think that's a big part of it.
Go to North & Co.
Go to North and Plug. Or North and Plug.
North and
There's a
Plug.
plug
North
for
and
North
Plug.
and Co. Sorry, that came out really fast. Anyway, so if somebody watching this is either maybe a buyer or a seller or looking, you know, have questions in real estate, or maybe an investor looking for somebody to help them out, how do people get a hold of you guys?
You can either reach us via email, alexsmith@northandco.com, or spouses that sell houses az@gmail.com.
Nice.
Or feel free to text me, give me a call, 480-459-7111. Lesleigh is 480-710-1266.
Awesome. Who's better at? No. I'm
I know, right?
That's Leslie. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome.
We
Well,
both have our key points.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your
having
day
us.
and joining me
Absolutely,
here
Jordan.
today
Appreciate it,
on
man.
Real Estate
Yeah.
Pros. And we will see you guys on the next episode.